Back everybody. Today we are looking at another matchup within the top 15 for the light heavyweight division, although one of these fighters just outside of the top 15 in Modestas Bukauskas. So this fight's planned for UFC 324. It's going to be number 13 ranked Nikita Krylov taking on Modestas Bukauskas. Nikita Krylov aiming to retain his top 15 status in this fight. He's on a 2-fight losing streak at the moment against Dominic Reyes, Bogdan Guskov, both TKOs in the first round. So he's not doing the best as of yet. His most relevant wins in the division are against Volkan Oezdemir and Alexander Gustafsson, but both of those were in 2022. So he's not got many relevant wins in the division as of yet to keep him in that top 15. So if he doesn't win this fight, then Nikita Krylov, sadly, probably going to be out of the top 15, whereas Modestas Bukauskas is going to be moving himself back up into, or not back up, into the top 15. Bit of a comeback run for him after that loss to Khalil Roundtree, but he's on a 4-fight win streak at the moment. Beat Paul Craig, Ion Cutelaba, Rafael Kakera, and Martin Prachnio. Nikita Krylov, 2-fight losing streak, likely out of the division soon. I think Modestas Bukauskas has got that momentum behind him. I think Nikita, he's just a bit old, he's getting older. He's only 34 years old, actually, but he just hasn't got the same kind of drive behind him right now. He's not got much momentum. He's coming off of 2 first-round finishes both in 2025, one in July, the one against Guskov. So really, I don't think he's going to have an edge here against Bukauskas. I think Bukauskas could honestly catch and finish Krylov, probably in the second round. He hasn't shown as much finishing potential, but he has in his last fight. He finished Paul Craig. To be fair, Paul Craig, but he also finished Rafael Kakera in round 1, and he sub Martin Prachnio in round 3. So he's got finishing potential. I think he could finish Nikita Krylov. I think if Krylov, or he's going to have a good 2 early rounds, and Nikita Krylov is going to be quite technical in the third round and maybe win that back for him. Nikita's going to win at least one round if this goes to decision. I think it's going to be a 29-28 decision win for Bukauskas if it goes to decision. I think if Krylov does, I think Krylov's only path to victory really at the moment would be to target the legs. He's got quite nasty leg kicks, so if he can work on Bukauskas' legs, if he can implement the oblique kicks that Khalil Roundtree used that, destroyed Bukauskas' leg a while back when was that? Back in 2021. So if Nikita Krylov can use that to his advantage, I think he could potentially win this matchup, TKO Bukauskas with leg kicks, or at least cripple him enough where Bukauskas can't really get anything going and Nikita can coast to a decision. So I think that's Krylov's only really method to victory. But if Bukauskas wins, he's going to be number 15 ranked. He's going to be looking at like a Alonzo Manyfield, who's coming off of a couple losses at the moment or just a loss at the moment to Volkan Oezdemir. So I think, that could be, Alonzo Manyfield could be a good win for Bukauskas to cement himself in the top 15 there, if Manyfield hasn't got a fight before then. If not Manyfield, then probably Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker just coming off of his win against Zhang Minyang, but before that he was on a 3-fight losing streak. So, Johnny Walker, bit of a 50-50 fighter, honestly. I think Modestas Bukauskas could be one of those ones who takes him to a decision or, catches him when he goes for some goofy shit like he usually does. So I think Modestas Bukauskas, if he wins this fight against Krylov, he's going to have good momentum, going to be on a 5-fight win streak. Then he should look for either an Alonzo Manyfield or a Johnny Walker. I don't think he should look for an unranked matchup. I think he needs to go for a fight within the top 15, avoid the top 10 for now, till he's cemented himself. If Bukauskas loses, then he's going to remain unranked. He's probably going to need to rebuild to a 2-fight or 3-fight win streak before he gets another top 15 shot, But with his storyline against Khalil Roundtree, I can see where they might be pushing for a rematch between those two. Roundtree kind of winning and losing at the moment. So if Bukauskas can stay on a streak and Khalil Roundtree keeps winning and losing against the top guys, that could be an interesting matchup for the UFC in the future. So, but yeah, if he loses, he's definitely going to need to rebuild, get on a win streak again before he gets a top 15 shot. There's not too many other prospects in light heavyweight at the moment, so they might want to feed him to one of the up and comers. If there's a potentially exciting opponent. But yeah, I think he might have a bit of a long road back to the top 15 if he loses this fight to Krylov. If Krylov wins, he's going to stay number 13 ranked. I don't think they're going to increase his ranking really. He might go to number 12, but if he does win, I think he should look for a Rakic fight. He hasn't fought Rakic before. Be a fresh matchup in the division. Rakic himself has not had the best luck at the moment. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. 3 of those are by KO. One of them's by the decision loss to Ankalaev. So really, Rakic not much momentum. Nikita Krylov not much momentum either at the moment. But if Krylov can get back on a win streak and then fight Rakic quite technical, but I think Krylov could potentially finish him. So Krylov could look for Rakic. That would be a good fight. Or he looks for a Walker rematch. He knocked out Johnny Walker the last time that they fought. He didn't actually. Sorry, they went to a decision. So yeah, if he can get that Johnny Walker rematch, Johnny Walker might, now that he's won against a prospect in Zhang Minyang, might say, hey, you know what, I want that rematch. I want that win back under my belt. I want to avenge that loss. So, I think that could be a good one for Nikita Krylov to look for if he wins. But if he loses, I think he's going to be unranked at this point. He's going to be on a 3-fight losing streak. He's number 13 ranked at the moment. They've got prospects, Alonzo Manyfield and Zhan Minyang. They really love Zhan Minyang. They're not going to unrank him. And Alonzo Manyfield, I think they quite like him, even though I don't think he's a top 15 fighter worthy, really. But I think they're going to choose them over Krylov. So if he loses, I think he's going to be unranked. And he's, unlike Modestas Bukauskas, he would probably just look for one fight before he gets a 15 shot. If Manyfield loses again, he could look to fight Manyfield, or with both of them unranked, and then get himself a top 15 shot again off of that. If Johnny Walker loses to his next opponent and drops down a bit in the rankings, they might give Krylov Johnny Walker. But yeah, I think if he does lose this fight in the unranked area, he's likely to be fed off of a up-and-coming contender. He's got a decent name, he's got a decent record, he has got a few good wins, like over Volkan Oezdemir and Alexander Gustafsson, so I think they could look to try and build an up-and-coming contender off of him. So yeah, I think if Krylov loses, he's got a bit of a rough time ahead of him. If he loses, I honestly don't know if he will get back to the top 15, and if he does, I don't think he'll ever make it back into the top 10. So yeah, Krylov really needs to win this fight, really needs to keep himself steady, because he's looking to just skid at the moment. He's looking to go on a bit of a slide, and I don't think he recovers from it. But yeah, so that's my breakdown of those two when they're fighting at UFC 324. So let me know what you thought. Drop a comment, drop a like, share around. But yeah, thank you for listening. Goodbye.